is going to be the toughest fight of his career.
Shut up, relax.
The most embarrassing fight of his career.
Chair across your face.
Yeah, I think he's about to cry.
I'm definitely up for fighting. There's a lot of names in the division, for sure. But at the same time, look at what this creates as well. I'm a fighter and I understand that economics of business as well. And this does good business.
Are you really going to do this? Absolutely. Are we going to do this? For a record payday? To go in and spark Jake Paul before we start the serious stuff in 2026? Don't tell me what we should and what we shouldn't be doing.
Anthony Joshua has sent Jake Paul a chilling warning, and this time, it's not trash talk. While Paul sees the fight as a massive payday, Joshua's camp is exposing the real danger of this mismatch. Eddie Hearn bluntly warned that one clean AJ punch could have devastating consequences. Former pro Moses Itoma echoed the fear, making it clear that stepping into the ring with Joshua carries serious injury risks. This isn't hype anymore. It's a reality check.
Anthony Joshua should not get in the way of Fury and Joshua. Really, in my view, it's an absolute joke. It shouldn't be sanctioned. I really don't believe it should be sanctioned. I have a sneaking suspicion that it would be a very big fight. But the biggest thing is us rubbernecking to actually see if they do get to the point where they step in the ring together. Because Jake Paul's an area level fighter, a British area level fighter, and Anthony Joshua is still a killer and a live heavyweight. That should not be sanctioned anywhere in the world, in my view.
It's dangerous, mate.
Very dangerous.
It brings the sport into disrepute. The people that are talking about organising that, they should have a real hard look at themselves. But
even Eddie Hearn's kind of teasing he doesn't like it, but you can see the glitz of dollars.
There's no price. There is no price.
There shouldn't be.
There's absolutely no price on the planet in order to make.
Anthony Joshua has sent a chilling warning to Jake Paul, and this time, it isn't trash talk. While Paul sees this as the biggest payday of his career, Joshua's camp sees real danger. Eddie Hearn bluntly warned Paul about the consequences of taking AJ's power, making it clear that one clean punch could change everything. Former pro Moses Itoma echoed the concern, stressing that this fight carries serious injury risks. Boxing insiders agree this isn't just a gamble, it's a health risk. Ariel Helwani warned that Joshua's raw knockout power and elite experience could lead to brutal damage if Paul steps in unprepared. This isn't a YouTube fight. This is heavyweight reality.
Has been beaten 3 times. The 4 fighters that he beat didn't come to win. So he's not in his prime, is he? He's literally at the end of his career, pretty much finished. And this is why taking this fight with you is telling you all you need to know. It's a cash out. He might as well just cream as much money as he can at the end of his career, fighting an absolute joke shop in clown world. When I beat Anthony Joshua, he says, every doubt disappears. Come on. I mean, if this is a straight up AJ versus Jake Paul, then we all know what should happen. This is a 1-round job because AJ, even though he's past his best, even though he's seen better days, he throws a nice 1-2 down the middle. He's got a nice bit of distance, and fake Paul can't fight. He just can't. I don't care what anybody tells me. He can't fucking fight. He lost to Tommy Fury, for crying out loud. You can't jump in with Anthony Joshua now and expect to get a result. So, nothing's going to no doubt's going to disappear.
Rising heavyweight Moses even advised Jake Paul to think about his long-term health instead of focusing only on the paycheck, warning that one badly timed punch could cause serious, lasting damage. At the same time, former world champion Amir Khan didn't hold back, saying Joshua could seriously injure him, and that the risk of brain damage is very real.
I spark him out in like 2 rounds. Really? No, why do you look surprised when I don't.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying.
Come on, bro. You're fighting like one of the best heavyweight fighters in the world against a YouTuber. Like, come on. Like, respect the sport of boxing. And if AJ has to go in there and show these influencers that, listen, you can't fuck about with boxing. You know what I mean? Someone's going to get hurt badly. And this could be one of the first fights where a fighter gets hurt badly, because if you look at the size difference and the power difference, I mean, bro, there could be brain damages going on there. I mean, AJ could hurt him badly, you know.
When you look at Francis Ngannou, who's one of the most fearsome combat stars there is. I know it's MMA, but we saw what AJ did to Ngannou. So,
and that's why you don't look. You can't be surprised if AJ is going to do the same to what's it called again? What?
For Anthony Joshua, this fight goes far beyond just a payday. There's real pressure on him to win convincingly to protect his reputation and legacy. Analysts like Johnny Nelson believe Joshua is trapped in a dangerous situation, because if the fight becomes difficult or stretches out against Jake Paul, it could make him look less like an elite champion and more like a fighter chasing easy money.
I do believe it because AJ is involved, and I think AJ would struggle to he's going to take enough flack over this, but again, it's money talk. So I think AJ will struggle because it's an all-win situation. If he goes in there, Jake Paul lasted the distance. What does he tell you about AJ? Apart from he's just earned an extra 50 million quid. If he goes there and struggles with Jake Paul, then what do you say about AJ? Your heydays are well and truly over. If he goes in there and knocks him out, then I'll say that's to be expected. So the glory, there's probably not much glory in it, apart from the haters of Jake Paul to say, right, I've got rid of this kid. I think it's very brave of Jake Paul. So now the problem child has got to believe this fight's actually happening. So now you've got our attention. So now you've got to back up the boast. It's not about you're not playing tiddlywink. This is the only game you can't play. You can play football, golf.
Johnny Nelson admits Jake Paul is a marketing genius, but he doesn't see him as a true elite boxer. In his view, Jake is operating at a domestic level while earning world champion money, without taking the traditional path through the sport. Nelson believes Jake mastered the business of boxing, but remains unconvinced about his credibility at the highest level.
Dubois, he's going to be 35 years of age. It's crazy what I'm about to ask you, but can Jake Paul really beat Anthony Joshua?
All right, listen, I give all credit. Everyone knows that. They get mad at me that I gave too much credit to Paul. Why? He's done a hell of a job to put himself in this position. He sold himself. He sold his dream. He took his dream. He took his idea. And he put it out there, and he made it happen. Give him credit for that. And he made it happen. And he took risk along the way. Yeah, he picked his spots. He's in the driver's seat. He gets to pick his spots. He's the one bringing the money. He's the one promoting. Yeah, he's the name. He made himself that, coming from where he came from, with all his followers and the whole thing, and just the uniqueness of what he was doing. But he has learned along the way. He's not a top guy yet. No, I don't know that he ever will be. He didn't have that amateur background and the things that you usually need to be a top guy. But he has improved. He is a work in progress. He is a guy that you got to give him credit that he's respected the sport. He went out.
Former champion Carl Froch agrees, warning that fighting Jake Paul could damage AJ's legacy and take him off the path to true Hall of Fame status. At the same time, Joshua has made it clear that his long-term health matters most to him, saying his real legacy is walking away from the sport healthy.
And is lit, like I've said, he's cashing out. And fair play to him, he's cashing out. But to what detriment to his legacy? A lot, really, because if this is going to be his last fight, fighting this clown show, I mean, it's not ideal, is it? It's no ideal way to go out, but people would argue, well, he's just taking the money and running. So you can't really argue with that. So that's it for another episode of Froch on Fire. I had to get my opinion out there because I know you've all been waiting for it. It's a shame, really. I'd like to see Anthony Joshua, actually, even though I don't believe he can do it. But when Eddie Hearn tells us that AJ is going to become a 3-time world champ, it'd be nice to see the rebuilding process and get back behind him. 1 or 2 easy fights and then go for a world title. And this could be one of the 2 easy fights. But I just think if you're going to jump in with fake Paul at this level, which is like I say, arguably a massive mismatch, it's no way to step towards or climb a ladder to get towards that world title. So this, for me, tells me that Anthony Joshua knows he's finished at any sort of elite level or world level. He won't be trying to go down the world title level anymore. This is just a cash out. So good luck to him, fair play to him, but hopefully when he's finished this fight, he'll be honest with us and say, listen, I've milked it, I've creamed it, I've had an unbelievable touch at the end of my career. I mean, he's already had an outrageous touch, hasn't he, with the involvement of Saudi Arabia, and now he's just creaming it at the end. He's got fake Paul, which is massive. Great for AJ, fair play to him. Anybody would do the same at the end of the career he's had. You know, he's not an elite heavyweight, is he?
Jake Paul, meanwhile, is fully convinced he can defeat Anthony Joshua. He claims Joshua has shown real weaknesses in his recent fights. On his podcast, Jake didn't hold back, questioning Joshua's durability, skill level, and movement. He believes AJ's knockout loss to Daniel Dubois proved his resistance is fading, making this the perfect time to take the risk. Jake says his awkward style, confidence, and momentum give him a genuine chance in what many see as a massive gamble.
Well, I think it's because he genuinely believes there is a chance he can win this. I think he's calculated everything about Anthony Joshua's circumstances and he's gone, yeah, I actually think I can do this. I can leapfrog so many years of having to build and go through the ranks and do all that stuff by beating a shop-worn Anthony Joshua. And what are the factors in Jake Paul believing this? Well, it would be firstly that AJ received a loss in his most recent fight. Anthony Joshua's not been in the ring since September 2024, so over a year by the time him and Jake Paul get in the ring together. It will have been around 15 months. It was the manner of Joshua's loss where he looked terrible. He looked like a fighter that was well past his best. His timing wasn't there. He even looked a little bit chinny, dare I say. I mean, I still think he's got a good chin. The shot he took from Dubois was absolutely massive and would have knocked down many heavyweights. And he showed decent powers of recovery to get up and struggle through for as long as he did before his over-aggression and miscalculation with the type of shots he was using got him knocked out by Dubois. But if you're deluded enough like Jake Paul, then perhaps you look at that and go, he landed a massive right hand on Joshua's chin. Why can't I do the same? I believe myself to be a very big puncher. And it's that old saying, isn't it? You know, you shoot for the stars, you might at least land on the moon. And I think that's kind of why Jake Paul's maybe got to where he is in life, because he does have too much self-confidence. He does believe in himself. Well,
Jake Paul says this is his chance to silence everyone who claims he only fights smaller names or past their prime opponents. By stepping into the ring with Anthony Joshua, a legitimate heavyweight and former world champion, Jake believes he's finally proving he belongs at the highest level. He insists that if he beats Joshua, all the doubts vanish and no one will be able to question him again.
The real boxer. They said, fight someone your size. They said, fight a world champion. We looked at a long list of...
Teddy Atlas has a cautiously curious perspective on the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua matchup. He warns that the fight could be a huge leap for Paul, given the difference in class and experience, but he doesn't dismiss it entirely. Atlas points to Joshua's recent knockout loss and extended layoff, suggesting these factors could make him vulnerable. While he acknowledges that Joshua is still the more skilled and powerful fighter, Atlas says he's interested in seeing which version of AJ will show up in the ring.
Having said all of that, this might be a step too far. Now, when I say it, I'm also, I try to be responsible. I've been in this game 50 years, so I know where not to step, where you could twist an ankle, or worse, you could break a leg or fall down. When I say that with the understanding too that Joshua's coming off being knocked out. Joshua hasn't fought for a year, right? But it's about a year. And there's some ghost in his attic. There are. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's gotten rid of some of them, but I know that in the position of a fighter coming where he's coming from, there are ghosts in your attic. I don't know if those ghosts are still taking up space. I don't know if maybe there could be no better exorcism for those ghosts than fighting a Jake Paul. That might be just the exorcism you need to clear out the attic. I don't know. That's the problem. We don't know. That's the mystery part of this. That's what makes it so... It makes it two things at once. Intriguing and in some way...
Atlas believes Jake Paul will never reach the top tier of boxing, though he respects his work ethic and business savvy. He calls Jake a work in progress and appreciates that he trained seriously and showed respect for the sport. However, Atlas doesn't see him achieving world-class status. In his view, Jake has created a niche as a clever promoter, but at the elite level, he's cautious. Paul can't simply walk in and beat anyone.
That does it for this week's recaps and previews. I want to throw one more thing at you, and that's the news. It's been out there for about a month or so, and it's picking up more steam. Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua. Now, Eddie Hearn came out this week most recently and said, I never thought I would say this, but right now, the front runner for this fight is Jake Paul for Anthony Joshua's ring return. Joshua coming up almost on a year in September since his KO loss to Daniel Dubois. He's going to be 35 years of age. It's crazy what I'm about to ask you, but can Jake Paul really beat Anthony Joshua?
All right, listen, I give all credit. Everyone knows that. They get mad at me that I give too much credit to Paul. Why? He's done a hell of a job to put himself in this position. He sold himself. He sold his dream. He took his dream. He took his idea. And he put it out there, and he made it happen. Give him credit for that. And he made it happen. And he took risk along the way. Yeah, he picked his spots. He's in the driver's seat. He gets to pick his spots. He's the one bringing the money. He's the one promoting. Yeah, he's the name. He made himself that, coming from where he came from, with all his followers and the whole thing, and just the uniqueness of what he was doing. But he has learned along the way. He's not a top guy yet. No, I don't know that he ever will be. He didn't have that amateur background and the things that you usually need to be a top guy. But he has improved. He is a work in progress. He is a guy that you got to give him credit that he's respected the sport.
Boxing commentator Aid Oladipo doesn't hold back. He believes that if Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua truly face off, Joshua could finish the fight quickly. In a recent interview, Oladipo argued that Paul's confidence doesn't match the risk of taking on a former heavyweight champion, even suggesting AJ might score a knockout within the first 30 seconds. While he gives Jake credit for daring to challenge a much bigger opponent, Oladipo clearly favors Joshua's experience and power to control the fight. On the financial side, Jake Paul has dropped a massive number, claiming the bout could be worth around $267 million. Reports estimate that both Paul and Joshua could each take home roughly $92 million, but Jake's own figures hint that total revenue, including streaming rights, pay-per-view, and other deals, might push the fight into record-breaking territory, making it not only a huge sporting event but one of the richest bouts in boxing history.
AJ versus Jake Paul. Jab.
AJ.
Defense.
AJ.
Chin.
AJ.
Footwork.
AJ.
Boxing IQ.
AJ.
Personality.
If Jake Paul takes a heavy loss to Anthony Joshua, it could seriously hurt his drawing power. Right now, he's one of the few crossover stars who can guarantee huge pay-per-view numbers thanks to his social media reach. But a decisive defeat against a legitimate heavyweight like AJ would give critics plenty of ammo. They could argue that he isn't durable, isn't elite, and can't compete with top-tier pros. Even his celebrity appeal might start to fade, as casual fans could stop tuning in if they see him as just a YouTuber playing boxer. Promoter Eddie Hearn has even warned that a bad outcome could threaten Paul's entire boxing brand. Ultimately, the potential showdown between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua is more than just a spectacle, it's a high-stakes gamble on multiple fronts. For Paul, it's a chance to finally prove he belongs in real boxing. But many see him playing with fire against a heavyweight of Joshua's caliber, with critics highlighting serious health risks due to the vast differences in experience, power, and size. For Joshua, the motivation appears largely financial, with the potential for his biggest payday yet, but a misstep could damage his reputation. While the fight promises massive attention and enormous profits, many in the boxing world view it as a risky clash driven more by money than pure sporting merit.
Take Jake Paul, that's serious. He can't really box. He can have a little fight, he can have a swing. Swings away, stands up straight, and he throws punches, but it's not professional boxing. Because when I watch him box, he's just so much wrong. It's just everything's wrong. It's so bad. He's got leaky defence. He telegraphs his punches. Like, you put him in with someone his own size, it was a professional, and it's a mismatch. And you'll see that if he ends up fighting somebody. Tommy Fury, bless him, he's a pro boxer, but he's inexperienced. He's got no amateur pedigree. He's a raw novice, or maybe just above the raw novice. I was saying earlier, where would I put him in terms of levels? He'd do well to win a British title. He's at that sort of level, and then from British title to world level, it's like different worlds.
So, what's your take? Is Jake Paul stepping into the ring with Anthony Joshua a brilliant move, or is he playing with fire?